All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem HYRCANUS, and the double honors to our apostles and elders at Great Millstone who do rule well. And salute, man. Much love to you, sincere brothers who push this truth week in and week out, man. Y'all brothers, stay strong. We almost home, and I wanted to do a quick lesson on the head brother Raga Bar. Had it to where every brother should do. Got an order that every brother should do a lesson on how John HYRCANUS did a forced conversion on Esau Amalek, man, to basically force them to convert to being quote unquote Jews, quote unquote, and that's just a quick. I'm just basically going into that history, man. That's how these devils, these synagogue of Satans. I don't want to say that J word too much. How they became fake Jews, man. I just gotta say it sometimes. So I'm gonna get straight on into it, man. It says the religion of Idumea and its relationship to early Judaism. It says they wrote this September 2020 by Yigal Levin. Sound like a false Jew name, but a lot of times they put out some good information, man. And it says abstract: for several hundred years, from the late Iron Age to the end of the 2nd century BCE, the southern neighbor of Judea was Idumea. And Idumea is the Greek way of saying Edomites, man. Edom. Idumea is the Greek way of saying Edom. So it says Idumea, populated by descendants of Edomites, together with Qadorite and other Arabs in a mix of additional ethnicities. This paper examines the known data on the identity, especially religious identity, of these Idumeans using a wide range of written sources and archaeological data. Within the Bible, Edom is presented as Israel's twin and its harshest enemy. To this day, same thing. Our harshest enemy, man. That's our evil twin brother, man, Esau Edom. So I'm going to continue on. But there are hints that the Edomites worship the God of Israel. While the origins of the Edomite deity Quaz, which is some idol that Esau was worshiping, man, they try to basically make a deity that directly counters Yahweh. The way they set it up, but that's another story. But it says, while the origins of the Edomite deity Quaz remain obscure, as does the process of their migration into southern Judah, the many inscriptions from the Persian period show that Quaz became the most widely worshipped deity in the area, even as other gods, including Yahweh, were also recognized, which is true name is Yahweh. So I'll continue on. The Hellenistic period brought heightened Greek and Phoenician influence, but also the stabilization of Idumea as an administrative ethnic unit. Some of the practices of this period, such as male circumcision, showing infinity to the Judaism of the time. Slakia, man. Some of the practices of this period, such as male circumcision, show an infinity to the Judaism of the time. The paper also discusses the outcome of the Hasmonean conquest of Idumea and the incorporation of its inhabitants into the Jewish nation. Continue on. For several hundred years, there existed south of Judea an ethnic and administrative entity which we call Idumea, Edom. While the origins of the entity and the process by which it came to be are debated and will be discussed below, its end is well known. Idumea was conquered by the Hasmonean ruler John HYRCANUS I near the end of the 2nd century BCE, at least according to Josephus. Some Idumeans seem to have been inducted into the Jewish nation or religion. Antiquities 13. Anyway, one well-known result of this was Herod, king of Judea, and rebuilder of the Jewish temple, who, according to Josephus and additional sources, was descended from an Idumean family who had been converted to Judaism. And it says, The conquest of Idumea by John Hyrcanus I was the end of a long process. The tradition of a close relationship between Jews and Edomites or Idumeans goes back a long way. But they're going to start going into the scriptures, and I'm going to hit a couple scriptures, man. We're going to get a little bit on John Hyrcanus real quick, too. Let me see. Boom. Boom. Let me get Ecclesiastes 7 and 13. It says, consider the work of Yahweh, for who can make that straight which he had made crooked? Who can make that straight which he had made crooked, man? Yes, John Hyrcanus forced a conversion on the Amalekites, forced them to being quote unquote Jewish, to being like the Israelites, to keeping the customs of the Israelite peoples. You know, he forced that, but who can make that straight which the Most High himself made crooked? So consider the work of Yahweh, for who can make that straight which he had made crooked. Yes, even though John Hyrcanus did this in history, they still were crooked. Like today, you have many of those people running around talking about they're the Shemitic people and their history is they're the people of the Bible and all this other madness, but it's a lie, and they're crooked as hell. Matter of fact, they're hated by every nation and known for being the biggest swindlers, the biggest thieves, the most corrupt people on this planet, man. And they run everything and own everything. Look at the world today and look at the people who own it. It's the Amalekites, man. The Idumeans. And they're crooked as hell. That's why the whole world crooked right now. Because they're under the influence and guidance of the Idumeans, the Amalekites, man. You know, so just because John Hyrcanus converted them to the religion of the Israelite people, the so-called religion, that don't mean they're righteous. That don't mean they're straight. They're still crooked. The Most High designed them to be crooked. You know, and matter of fact, Isaiah 26 and 10. Let favor be showed to the wicked. Yet will Let favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. Once again, let favor be showed to the wicked. Who is the wicked? Esau, Edom, man. Let favor be showed to them. Check it out. Yet will he not learn righteousness. You can force as much of this truth on him as you want, man. Yet will he not learn righteousness. And it's going to be that way in the kingdom. We're going to enforce our law, statutes, and commandments on them by force, in force. Yet will they not learn righteousness, so we're going to keep a foot up their ass too. We're going to keep having to drop judgment on their heads, man. We're going to give them hell in the kingdom, man. Yet will they not learn righteousness. They might pretend to be righteous. A lot of them running around calling themselves Christians too. There's millions and millions of these devils running around there calling themselves Christians and Catholics and Jewish. But yet they're still the devil, man, because that's how they were designed. So, let favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly. And where is the land of uprightness? Israel, man. That's supposed to be the land of uprightness. That's the homeland of the Israelite people, man. The land where they were supposed to, where they did inherit, that was promised to them from Abraham on to Isaac on to Jacob, man. But we were cast out of that land for being wicked. And yet the Most High got these wicked devils over there. And what are these wicked devils doing? Defiling the land even more. That's supposed to be the land of uprightness, man. But yeah, you got all the most vile. That's basically little America right now, man. It's just vile. You know. Let me continue on. Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna jump to this Sirach 12, and I'm gonna read some more of this. Sirach 12. Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Though he humble him. Hold on. It says, never trust thy enemy. Esau, Edom, that's your number one enemy. For like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Exactly. Like as iron rusted, man. So iron is guaranteed to rust. No matter how much you shine it up and polish it and you clean the rust off, the rust gonna come right back in due time. That's the way Esau's wickedness is, man. You know? And though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away. Set him not by thee, lest when he had overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. Lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. And obviously, throughout their history, Esau overcame us and sat in our seat, man. Read it again. It said, set him not by thee, lest when he had overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Now the whole world see them as the tribe of Judah. You know, even though they don't even bring up the other tribes. They don't bring up the tribe of Benjamin, Levi, Issachar, Naphtali, Zebulun, Asher, Ephraim, Manasseh, Simeon, Ephraim, whoever I missed. They don't bring them tribes up, man. Now the whole world look at them as, them the people of God right there. When they're really the nastiest people on this planet, man. But they stood up in our place. And it says, set him not by thee, lest when he had overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Exactly. Remember my words and be pricked therewith, man. And I'm gonna read a little bit more on this giant HYRCANUS 1. It says giant HYRCANUS 1, born 175 BC, died 104 BC. And it says high priest and ruler of the Jewish nation from 134 to 104 BC. Under his reign, the Hasmonean kingdom of Judea in ancient Palestine attained power and great prosperity. And the Pharisees, a scholarly sect with popular backing, and the Sadducees, an aristocratic sect that comprised the priesthood, became well-defined religious parties. And it says Hasmonean dynasty, king, Judea. Okay. HYRCANUS was the youngest son of Simon Maccabeus and thus a member of the Hasmonean dynasty, so called after an ancestor named Hasmonean. In 137 BC, he and his brothers Judas commanded the force that heroically repelled the invasion of Judea led by Cindybus, the general of the Syrian king Antiochus VII Sidetes. In 135, HYRCANUS' brother-in-law, Ptolemy, the governor of Jericho, assassinated HYRCANUS' father and two elder brothers. HYRCANUS then succeeded to the high priesthood and supreme authority in Judea. The remainder of HYRCANUS' reign was marked by his efforts to punish his enemies, ward off the Syrians, and enlarge Judean borders. Although he struggled in vain to destroy Ptolemy, he successfully thwarted Syrian incursions by alliance with Rome and conquered the unfriendly neighboring territories of Samaria and Idumea, Edom. He forced Idumea to convert to Judaism. He basically forced them devils to convert to our laws, our statutes, our commandments, especially. The first, because I don't really like that word Judaism, but the first example of conversion. See, they don't like to bring this history. They'll never show you this history in the schools, man. They'll never show you that in the schools, man. You know? But here it is, man, like myself and many other brothers bring out this history, man. Because the Most High put it on our spirit to do so. And let's see. It says, he forced Idumea to convert to Judaism, the first example of conversion imposed by the Jews in their history. Upon his death, Hyrcanus was succeeded by his eldest son, Aristobulus I. Hyrcanus' reign was the last under which Judea was a powerful united state. Exactly. Let me get this Ezekiel 36, man. It tell you all throughout the Bible the so-called the tribe of Judah are so-called black people, man. That's Jeremiah 14:2. That's Jeremiah 14:2. Matter of fact, I'll get that real quick because I was gonna get Ezekiel 36. I'm still gonna get Ezekiel 36, man. Jeremiah 14:2. Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. It says the tribe of Judah is in mourning, and the gates represent the leadership, is languishing. To this day, the leadership languishes, man. And the cry of Jerusalem is gone up, man. Now people have been crying out for centuries now, at least about 5 centuries now, man, under the oppression of this devil, Esau Amalek, man. Not just the Amalekites, but the rest of the Edomites too, man. And we're under the oppression of the other nations, man, scattered throughout the world. The cry of Jerusalem, the cry of Judah is gone up, man. Well, you don't see them Amalekites crying unto God. You don't see the false Jew crying unto the Most High. And this lesson might get deleted, but hey, add that to the collection, man. It is what it is, man. But you don't see them crying unto the Most High. Their cry is not going up. Only thing that's going up with them is a lie. Their nose getting bigger and bigger, Pinocchio style, man. Oh, man. When it says they are black onto the ground, man. The word black right there, when you go into the Hebrew, is quadar, which means dark skin. Onto the ground, the word ground the word ground, men were formed from the ground, man. Adama, ground. And let me see, let me get Ezekiel 36. Yeah, there's some history they ain't gonna never show you in those schools, buddy. This is Ezekiel 36 and verse 6. Let me find the right verse, Salaki. Hold on. Okay, Ezekiel 36 and 5. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession, with the joy of all their heart, with the spiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. Exactly. So who is in the land right now? The land of Israel, Idumea, and the residue of the heathen. You got Ishmaelites over there too, man. Them people running around calling themselves Palestinians. The Lord is gonna burn those people up out of that land, man. All those people are gonna die in World War III, man. Therefore, thus said the Lord, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession, with the joy of all their heart, with the spiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. Prophesy therefore concerning the land of Israel, and say unto the mountains, and unto the hills, and to the rivers, and to the valleys, thus said the Lord Yahweh, behold, I have spoken in my jealousy and in the fire, and in my fury, because ye have borne the shame of the heathen. Therefore, thus said the Lord Yahweh, I have lifted up my hand. Surely the heathen that are about you, they shall bear their shame. Exactly, man. You read that whole chapter, it's good, man. But they're being exposed right now, so they're bearing their shame. If you type the word Hebrew Israelite in the Google search engine, guess what's gonna pop up? So-called blacks and Latinos with garments and fringes on them, man. You know? You gotta type it. Maybe if you type in the word Israeli, which you can't find the word Israeli in the Bible, you type that word in, maybe you'll see them hook-nosed bastards, man, the Idumeans, man. But if you type in the word Israelite, you just see who you're gonna see, man. You know, the truth is speaking louder than ever, man. The truth is speaking louder than ever. So Esau and Amalek is bearing their shame, man. You know, and yeah. So those are not the real ones, man. They're counterfeit. They're fake. They're phony, man. That is identity fraud, man. Identity theft, and the real Israelites are the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, man. And the tribe of Judah, which that's where you get the word Jew from, Judah. That's the so-called Negro, man, the head tribe. And there's plenty of history out there on there that's being uncovered and exposed. So all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Rakakwadash. Shalom to the hopeful elect, Kwam Yasha Allah, Abad Babal.